on October 7th is a day of action. This is a follow-up. You may remember from September we had a big rally that got a lot of national coverage as far as to save public education. And in line with the previous speaker, I think her name was Mary, this idea of expanding your campaign to the broader idea of the public, you know, all of us as citizens of California. Many people are not aware of the situation that exists at University of California, the inequities. Our current campaign is around ending discrimination in pay and pension. Our unit, which is CUE, which is the Coalition of University Employees, we were a small independent union at the university. We affiliated in May with the International Brotherhood of Teamsters to help us in our efforts to gain a contract. We've had a contract that expired in September of 2008, and we extended it a month in the hopes that we could come to some agreement with the university. The university is notorious, not just with CUE, but with all of the unions, of dragging out bargaining, failing to produce the information that they should give. And for the last 6 years, there's been a direct attack on our pension plan. So right now, our main issues are wages, benefits. There's a great effort in terms of not giving us anything in terms of a salary increase, and at the same time causing us to have the defined contribution costs that we have paid for the last 19 years to direct that to the defined benefit plan. For background, for people who may not know, in the early 1990s, the UCRP, the UC retirement plan, was funded at 140%. And so the regions took a vote that employees and the employer would stop making contributions. And what happened was the employees then had to pick up a defined contribution plan, which was 2%, or for the higher paid employees, 3% of salary minus $19. From that time to the present, the employer has not had to contribute any money. And we found out about a year ago in bargaining that the Office of the President, and I believe probably with Regento concurrence, adopted the policy of not demanding of, like say the NIH or other entities that they had contracts with, to have a portion of the benefit coverage included in that, and so that they could be more competitive. This is what they told us. So they lost 20 years of getting the people who give grants to the university from contributing to the pension plan. Well, right now the fund is about at 95%, and they have everyone believing, oh, the sky is falling, where I believe the legal requirement is 68% of funding. And we know that when you're talking about pension, you're talking about long term, and as Mary said, with the market, you're going up and down, up and down, and up and down. So if you're talking about a liability that's 30 years out, just because it may not look rosy today is not to say 30 years from now it's going to be the same. So the whole pension is a big fight for us because the regents, previously it was Parsky, who we now know is a part of Schwarzenegger's administration, Regent Blum, and now Gould, who is the chair of the regents, who for the last 5 or 6 years, they've had the pension fund in their sights. This is a big pushback for us because for someone who they are claiming that they don't have money to give salaries, to give you an example, the day that we had the big pension demonstration, right after that, the regents took a vote in compensation. For medical center executives, I think I don't know the exact number of people, but the total that they voted to give in bonuses was $2.4 million for a handful of senior managers. For the investment advisors, and their justification is always, we have to be competitive. they voted to give bonuses. We're talking about bonuses. We're not talking about base salaries. Bonuses that totaled over $4 million. This is at the same time that they tell us that there's a fiscal crisis at the University of California. And we know that there isn't. Last July, when they gave emergency powers to President Yudof, who, by the way, most people in California don't know, his base compensation is $790,000 per year. The retirement package that they gave to him was the supplemental package. Besides, as an employee, after 5 years vesting, getting the defined benefit, which is computed off of your salary and off of your years of service and your age at retirement. He's already at the age that he can retire. But if he stays at the university for 7 years, and I think we're in year 2 or 3, he will get an annual annuity of $350,000. An annual annuity of $350,000, plus what he gets from the UCRP pension. And so he commissioned a task force to study post-employee benefits. And all of the recommendations that they have made affect lower paid employees. Every single one is a takeaway for us. So I like that no concession policy. So we have a big fight on our hands, and we are definitely interested in partnering and in coalition with all of you out there. I have some flyers on the October 7th Day of Action. I ask all of you to participate, to send your members there. We will have informational picketing from 11 to 1. It'll be right on Sproul Plaza, which is the main plaza at Bancroft and Telegraph in Berkeley. And there will be other actions happening throughout the state at the various UC locations. So we hope that you will also have your members in those areas to help us. And then also October 30th and 31st, there will be a mobilizing conference to continue this struggle in defense of public education and public services. So thank you. I'm glad to see so many out here. I'll leave these flyers on the back